Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another exciting episode of Is It Wrong Podcast with your host, me, Rey Parra. Make sure to hit the like button, make sure to subscribe and share. Add all your comments. We love the comments. Every time we have a special guest, there's different comments. We have a conversation. We have a great time, guys. Remember to get our merch. We got some cool t-shirts, some cool mechanic shirts, some hats, some buttons, some mugs, all kinds of real good stuff. But just stay tuned for today's guest. It's going to be a great one. Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of Is It Wrong? I'm Ray, your host, and my co-host is Dave Kruse, and our special guest today, Michael Drive. And Michael has been known, he's been the lead vocalist for Barren Cross, Gale Force, and now Human Code, also known as Worldview, same musicians. And Michael's also a composer, a writer, a producer. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Michael Drive. How you doing, buddy?
Very good. Thank you, Ray. Thanks for having me on, man.
Good. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. Yes.
Yeah. If you want to be proper, like in the opera.
Yes.
There you go. Oh man, Michael, how are you, buddy? Finally getting you on here, man.
I'm great. I'm so. I mean, I'm just a happy camper. I've never had so much joy in my life. I'll tell you that much. So
really, why's that?
It's, I got to attribute most of it to God, really. And he's just been doing a lot of amazing things in me. I'm a firm believer in God, and I've done a lot of changing throughout the years.
Yeah.
I'm a different person than I was many years ago, and it's made me who I am today. So I'm really grateful to God for everything He has done in my life. So.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Yeah, God is everything. He is our everything. He's the whole reason why we do what we do, right? For those of us who know Him. But Michael, I know I was reading in your bio a while ago. I wasn't aware of this, but are you still like a hired gun? Do you stuff for other musicians as well still, or no?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I actually did that recently for a guy in the Netherlands. Did kind of a what was it? A symphonic metal song with him.
Really?
So, yeah, he hired me to do lead vocals on that, and so yeah, I do that from time to time.
Oh, that's great, man.
I love doing that kind of stuff. People want to hire me for singing on their thing. I love it. So
yeah. Now, are you writing stuff for them, or are they just sending you what they have and then you're singing to it? Or
every situation is different. Yeah, I've done writing before, and because I can write music, I can write lyrics and melody lines and all of that. And but sometimes I'm hired just to sing a part that's already there, and or a main lead vocal that's already there. And I do the background vocals, and I've got really good equipment in my studio at home where I can produce album ready vocals. So
I know I've heard many of them. When I've gone to George's, he'll play me stuff that you record in your house. And I was like, dang, man, that's good. That's really good.
Thank you.
Do you have any particular person that you've done that for that really stands out? Where you're like, man, these guys awesome, or just kind of doing it as a hired position deal?
I don't know. I can't really say right now. Different things I've done. They all have their very unique and special meanings, and when I do something, I put my heart into it, and it almost feels like it's mine when I'm done, but it goes to them. But it's just something I really enjoy.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Hey, so I wanted to have a little fun. I was talking with Dino and George yesterday, and Dino was telling me, he said, ask Mike.
Michael.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. See, I thought I was going to be the one to mess up.
Oh, he said, ask Michael. You were headbanging on the drum riser or something, and Ray Parra swung his guitar around and hit you in the head with it or something.
Oh yeah, now that I can describe. That was funny. That was on tour. We were in Indianapolis, in the Indianapolis show, and of Indiana, and it was the very last song of the set. In that particular night, we closed with "Living Dead." And on the very last downbeat of the song, Ray was right next to me. I don't think he saw that I was there.
Right.
And he brought his Charvel Jackson right down on my head, busted the headstock in 3 places. I had blood coming out of my skull. And I'm stumbling around, and I wanted to. The thing is I wanted to go on and do the encore. And I'm stumbling, but I wanted to do the encore. They would not let me do the encore. They said, "No, you're going to the hospital right now. You need stitches." But I was so mad at that because I want to give the people a good show, so I wanted to do that encore. You know. So anyway,
oh my gosh.
Anyway, they didn't let me do it. They just took me to the hospital, and that was that. But yeah,
that is pure metal right there, man. That is metal.
I think we have a video clip of it. Let's see. Is this in here?
Oh yeah, we do.
Let's see.
Oh, you don't have that. Oh, that's something else. Yeah, that's not me. No,
I know. But it had hurt like heck, though, didn't it?
It kind of hurt, yeah. But I mean, I was so into the moment that it didn't seem to bother me.
Yeah,
you're riding on adrenaline, man.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah,
that is
and that's it. That's like you get cut at work or something. You don't feel the cut. You're just like, whatever. You work all day and then you get home and half your fingers gone or something. You know,
Tis but a scratch.
A scratch? Your arm's off.
No, it isn't.
Well, what's that then?
Yeah, but
it's adrenaline.
He got cracked in the head. I mean, that's worse than a paper cut, bro.
It's just a flesh wound. It's just a flesh wound.
Just a flesh wound.
Flesh wound.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. You know what's funny is my pastor years ago was talking about, we were all talking horror stories. You know, my drummer Tony Velasquez, he's talking about, I was cutting a tree with he's cutting some concrete with a concrete saw, and he forgot it didn't have the guard on it, and he set it on his leg, and it shredded his leg, right?
Oh, no.
And I'm like, man, I remember I cut the tip of my finger off with a skill saw.
Oh.
And our pastor's like, oh, that ain't nothing. He goes, man, I was in the office, and I grabbed a stack of papers and paper cut. Talk about pain.
Yeah. Speaking about a paper cut, I remember when Glenn Mancaruso, drummer for Vengeance, he got a paper cut on his eyeball.
Ooh.
That blood coming all over the place.
Ooh.
I'm gonna have Glenn on here shortly. Not today, but I'm gonna mess with him on that one.
Speaking of which, we have his son on drums for Barren Cross. He is Steve's replacement. For those of you who don't know, Steve Whitaker, he's not been given long to live. So he's, you want to pray for his family. Excuse me. But he's not doing
You need
well.
to get some water or something?
It probably will. But anyway, so that's a sad state of affairs for Steve, and he's been a longtime friend. But so pray for his wife and his family, if you will.
Yeah, I remember at Immortal last time. He was really struggling with the set, and Jim literally had to kind of count it out for him as he was going, man. It's just,
we all kind of had to lead him a little bit, know.
Yeah, I was going to ask a question about that, if he was going to be, available anymore, or if that was done, but you just answered it. You know,
Right.
so
That kind of leads into a question I have actually.
Yeah.
Is now that you guys, you have a replacement in the band in Barren Cross, have you guys been talking about maybe writing new stuff, putting new music out?
Yeah, we actually are toying with new songs. We've got a couple on the fire right now, and
Oh, that would be awesome.
so we're going to be working on that. We've got for those people who don't know, we're playing April 12 next month, April 12 at the BMI Events Center in Versailles, Ohio.
and
Yeah,
you're playing with
who you guys playing with? X-Center. That's right.
X-Center is opening up, and it's going to be a good show.
Oh yeah,
man.
yeah.
And we're gonna have brand new T-shirts, by the way, brand new Barren Cross T-shirts, and we're printing out also the Rattle Your Cage CD, which is one of my favorite Barren Cross studio albums.
Oh yeah, dude.
Rattle Your Cage
Yeah.
CD is really, really good. And
Yeah.
I just got that on vinyl not long ago. And those shirts, because I gotta ask, man, are they gonna be available online? Because I'm not gonna be able to make the show.
they will be. Yeah, they will be.
Okay, right on. Awesome.
I think I'm gonna make them available at the show first, for the sake of the people that came there.
Yeah, of course.
Now you guys are the reason why I even went to Immortal Fest in 22. When I found out that you guys were going to be there, I'm like, Barren Cross. I'm like, holy cow, man, I gotta go. And I've gone to all of them. Unfortunately I can't go this year, but yeah, man, you guys, holy cow, man, it was very special, man, getting to see you guys. Thank
you. Well, Barren Cross is not playing Immortal Fest. We're doing our own show on April 12th.
Right.
With X-Center, but Immortal Fest actually features my other band, Human Code.
Break the door until it face the floor. Reminiscent of a fight you've seen before. Curries, rapists, and drinks, and violent freaks. See a red hot burn spot of silence. Gonna fight on my knees. Every social disease where the masses get a brainwash till they bleed.
That's my new band, and so we're gonna be there.
Another excellent album.
Oh, thank you. Break the silence. Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Don't break the silence.
Yeah.
Socially Incorrect, I think, is my favorite song on the album.
Speaking of which, I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you very much, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Socially Incorrect, we're working on the video for that. In fact, I just went to Nashville and we filmed the video for Rain. That's going to be coming up.
My wife loves that song.
And that's a great song. But Socially Incorrect is a really good song, and we've been working on that video. And I want to make a call out to people, and including you guys, to make up a sign and videotape yourselves saying this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
I am socially incorrect. Just make a sign like that, hold it up, and film yourself. Have somebody film you or whatever with that sign up there. And and we're going to get you in the video. If you do that, we'll get you in the video.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's support. But Mike, for people who don't know the true meaning of socially incorrect.
Well, socially incorrect is all about all of the politically correct junk that they're shoving down our throats in this world, and telling us how to think. The thought police are coming after us, telling us how to worship, when to worship, what to worship, and all the junk. In my view, all that's politically correct is one of the greatest evils of our time. And so I just started naming things off, and it's it's something that I really can't stand in this world.
Yeah. No, that's a great tune, man. Great tune. And another question is Human Code. Where did that come up? Where did that come from? What is the grit meaning of Human Code? Because it's really badass. I got to tell you, I had George send me the pendum. Finally, I love that. Human Code is like, wow, what is that? What is that?
Human Code kind of represents, all the things that make up who you are: your mind, your emotions, your intuitions, what's in your heart, your intentions, and all of that. and the paths that you take, which govern your movement through life. That's pretty much the human code. So
I like that, man. I like that a lot.
That shirt that you got on there, Michael.
Yeah.
Did you have that made or?
Yeah, this was a just a sweater I just already had, and then I took that and because we have kind of patches like this, and
nice.
Kind of stuck that thing on there.
Oh, nice, very cool. That's what I thought. I wasn't sure though. Yeah, that looks good, man.
Oh, speaking of socially incorrect, hold on a second. Let me show you something. I've got this jacket here.
Oh, nice.
Check this out.
Oh, bro.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
I am socially incorrect.
I'll give you my address so you can send that to me, okay? What'd you say, Dave?
It looked like for a split second when you first had it up, there was like a skull on the other side made of rhinestones or something. Or
no, it's not a skull. It's not a skull. It's let's see. It's this. They're actually angel's wings.
Oh,
okay, cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'll
Ray,
give you my address.
You see the Memorex thing on the wall behind Michael?
Memorex.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, dude, that is awesome. I like that.
That was
like that.
Blowing you away with the sound.
that.
Yeah, man.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
that was
That is-
from a commercial in the 70s.
I remember that.
Yeah.
The guy's sitting there and he turns on the stereo and just blowing him away.
Advertisement for Memorex cassette tapes.
Yeah. Yep.
Wait, what's a cassette? I'm not old enough to know yet.
Yeah, right.
There's
I've got a friend that took he took a cassette over to Best Buy recently because he's got a song that he wants to transfer and make it into an MP3. So he had no idea how to do it. He goes and he gets seen by a relatively young man, and he had no idea what it was. Actually, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have that technology here."
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's like a video I saw one time where this mom, she took out like an old rotary phone, and she said here to her kid, she's like, figure out how to use this. The kid's looking at it and he's like, how do you text on this? And I just lost it. I'm like,
Oh my gosh, man.
man.
That is great.
You need it like this?
Yeah.
Oh, does that thing actually work?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Dang.
Wow.
This is the thing about these telephones that were really cool is if you were mad at somebody,
Yeah.
you could slam that phone.
Yeah.
Don't tell me
You're
that.
not hurting nothing.
But now you've got cell phones. You just just don't tell me.
Yeah, it's like
it doesn't really work the same, right?
yeah.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
And don't push too hard or you're gonna break the glass, right?
Yeah.
Hey, since you brought that jacket out and clothes, I don't know where I read this or I heard this or something. Do you design some kind of clothes stuff too? Or you have a clothing line or something like that?
I used to. I haven't done that in a long time, but I used to.
I think. Did you design this one?
It not totally. Oh, that. Oh, what you just
Or how about this one?
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
I think these are your long lost cousins. That guy and that guy.
Well, I could have a tendency of dressing like that. That's true.
I know, dude. I know. I was gonna say you wear those. I got one of those. It's on my mannequin over there. But
Oh yeah, the top hat. Yeah.
there it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
There you go. Right on.
Yeah. You know what? Let me grab mine. Leave yours on. Hold on a sec.
And I'm out of the picture because I don't have one of those. I got a nice House of Blues fedora up in my room, so. But not many people know this, maybe. But one of my favorite Barren Cross songs is "Your Love Gives."
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the opening piano music of that I used at the end of my radio show I used to do called Covenant Metal Show. At the end of every episode, I had an altar call. and I had the piano music from that as the background music.
Okay, well, that's cool. That's cool.
Love that song.
Nice hat. Nice
There
hat,
you
man.
go. Thanks, bro. You got
the
one kind
steam-
of like this, don't you?
Yeah. Hold on.
You got the steampunk goggles there going, Ray. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? Hey, it's not as cool as Del Thompson's, though, I gotta say.
I know. No, I agree. There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
How many top hats do you have, Michael?
3.
3?
Nice.
Right on.
Yeah,
Do you-
this was really weird. I got this from when I lived in Paris. I knew somebody that was a dancer at the Moulin Rouge, and she gave me this. She used to do it. She used to use this in her acts and stuff. But anyway, that was a long time ago. That's my past. But anyway, I like how disheveled the hat is, all ripped up.
Dude,
and
I love that hat.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'll
You
show you
should
my-
wear it on a show.
And this is my third one. I bought this when I was in England.
That's good. Yes.
That one's in your video.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
On which video is it?
Break the silence.
No.
Oh no!
No,
It's
not break the
Don't
silence.
Don't kill the messenger.
Don't
It's in
kill
that-
the messenger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think all you guys were wearing what on that one, weren't you?
No. But
Or was everybody wearing a hat of some sort or whatever?
I don't think so. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
But
might
we
be.
were. But that's a video that's kind of set in like a early 1900s. What is it called? What is that era? Ah, shoot.
Victorian.
Oh, the early 1900s. No.
Yeah, but there's a certain style
Yeah.
of music and theater and everything.
Oh, vaudeville.
That's it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bravo for you,
Vaudeville.
vaudeville. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was kind of set in that style in a way. And this actually goes well with the whole vaudeville vibe in a way, but it's actually more of a, I don't know, like a disheveled steampunk type of thing, but
Like this guy.
I like it.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
on.
Dale Thompson, he's got the best ones, man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like for the steampunk stuff, you know.
By the way, you Dave, you mentioned Your Love Gives, and just so you know, we're going to be performing that song next month in concert.
Oh, nice. Oh, and I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah.
Oh man. I really love that song, man. That's one of those songs when I hear it, man, it just kind of brings tears to my eyes, man. It's just a beautiful song. It really is.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Appreciate that.
That is a huge compliment, Michael, to hear that from someone.
Thank you.
You're the giver of my freedom, your love I'll embrace. So in return I'll give myself, 'cause your love gives. You have my life.
I have to say I didn't write that one. I wrote a bunch of other ones, but I did not write that song. So that's a good song though. I like it.
Who wrote that one?
I think that was Dino and John Elefante. It seems like.
Wow.
Oh, nice, man.
Yeah, they wrote 1 or 2 songs for us, and that was one of them. So
That's great. Those guys, man. John, I love his voice too, man. That guy.
Yeah.
Great writer, great writer.
yeah, that's true.
Him and I did some stuff on the Triton record, the last one for Larry Dean, and we sang on a song together, and John's voice it's that old Kansas, just love it, man. Just
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. I was a big Kansas fan, just because I grew up listening to progressive rock. Progressive rock bands, and mostly the British ones, though, like Yes and King Crimson, UK, and early Genesis, and this and that. But Kansas was in that vein as an American band. And I really, really liked them, and I saw them at the Universal Amphitheater in Los Angeles, and I think it was 1983, and that was before we even met John and Dino Elefante.
wow.
And so John was doing lead vocals at the time after Steve Walsh left the band, and that was a thrill for me to see that. And so it was also a thrill when I met them and they started working with Barren Cross and producing our albums.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Dude, I remember seeing Yes live years ago. I was a kid. And then watching Rick Wakeman doing his solo, just like mind blowing. I think the song was Journey to the Center of the Earth or something like that. Just
Right. He'd have keyboards all over the place. He'd be like,
oh, yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. He was the first king of the keyboards, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
You know, you got all kinds of guys now, and nowadays you don't need 13 keyboards. You need one or two, and you just switch the sounds, and you're done. But
there's only one band that I ever saw, and I saw them once, where the guy was like doing that, like two different keyboards at the same time, and that was Dream Theater.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Those guys, another killer band.
Yeah.
Another killer band. Hey, Michael, with Barren Cross, since we're talking about you guys, you've played all over the world and stuff. Do you find people in other countries, Europe or whatever, seem to be a little more in tune with the metal than the people here in the States?
Yeah, I would say that that's an accurate assessment. I think that we're so oversaturated with everything that we take everything for granted, basically. Kind of something I used to do in my life, take everything for granted, which is one thing that I've kind of changed in my life. But yeah, music of many styles actually are just saturated here, so much so that they're not appreciated, I think, as much as they are in other countries.
Yeah. You Michael, you ever get to a point where when you're touring or something, you're doing show after show after show, and you're like, you get burnt out. You're like, man, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this show. As the artist, we have a responsibility to do whatever it takes. But do you ever feel like that, or is it always go? I'm doing this no matter what?
Yeah, that's the way it is with me. I'm never burned out with the music. I'm exhilarated by it because it's a beautiful gift that I know that God gave. It's nothing I can take credit for, and therefore I'm so exhilarated and happy, and full of life when I'm utilizing that gift. It's just beauty beyond imagine, beyond what you can imagine. It's just great. So yeah, I'm the opposite of somebody who's in burnout mode. I just totally enjoy it. I could live on the road for years if I wanted to.
That's it.
As long as that's what God wanted me to do, because my life is totally surrendered to God now. So I'll play as long as He wants me to play, and I'll sing my brains out and give the people a good show every single night to the best of my ability, and I will continue that. So
I'm really happy to hear that, because I'm the same way, dude. I love doing live shows. I would do it every day if I could. I get a phone call to do a live show, and this is me.
Yeah, I remember that video.
Let's go. Yeah, that was a great one, man.
Right.
Oh man, but no, dude, I'm the same way, man.
That's Ray's warm-up routine before a gig.
It is.
It reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yes, exactly. And since you went there, Dave, I'm going to go ahead and ask Mike, do you have a routine before you go on stage to sing, or what do you normally do? You just
First of all, I down lots of water, because the voice is a natural instrument. Your bodies are made of mostly water, so you need water. You've got to lubricate. You've got to lubricate the larynx and all of that if you're a singer. So I drink lots of water, and then I go through. I try not to eat a bunch of fatty foods like cheese and pasta and all kinds of stuff like that, or bread, all that kind of stuff. I eat a decent meal, a good meat and some vegetables, green beans or whatever, that kind of thing. I also, when I can, I like a little glass of red wine. That's nice. It's actually good as well. Sure. Not to overdo it, although on alcohol, I don't drink too much.
You don't even need to say that. I get it. Yeah.
A little bit of wine is good, and but I also go through a whole series of vocal exercises, and vocal exercises, different things that I do that open up the larynx and start to ease it and warm it up and everything. And I'll go through
prior to every show.
Yeah. I'll do about 30 to 45 minutes of warm up exercises, and get my voice really prepped, and that way I can get out there and start belting. So
yeah. Me being a vocalist, I'm right there with you. I do the same thing. I drink a lot of water that whole day. The only difference is I typically, the day of a show, I might eat breakfast, but I never eat a meal before a show. Seems to me, excuse me, you're a diaphragm vocalist, so you're singing with your gut and you got food in there, and all of a sudden you're like hurting or whatever, so I'm the same way. And I have vocal warm-ups that I do as well. And I do them all the time, even if I'm not going to do a show.
Okay.
Just because, you know what, to keep guys like you and I who are not performing every day, we need to keep the voice warmed up. So how do you do it? You do your exercises, or you just sing, whereas guys that are doing 200 or 300 shows a year, that they don't need to warm up. They already got it, But, I'm right there with you, man. Lots of water and stuff. And I'm not a wine guy, but I might have a Corona or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, but yeah. Dave, you got any questions? I'm just talking over here.
No, there was a few I was going to ask, but it was already covered. I was actually going to ask if he did, Michael, if he did any, warm-ups, exercises before a gig, and you do. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and you mentioned them. Even if I'm doing gigs every day, I'll still do a warm-up.
Okay.
Even if I'm singing every day, I'll still do a warm-up before I sing, because you've been through hours of the voice not being utilized, prepped properly, and
yeah,
it just helps.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a question I just thought of, actually, is so in all the years of your career and experience, is there maybe one particular show that stands out to you, like just blew you away, or something phenomenal happened that just, it's a great memory for you?
Yeah, I would say I'm going to go back pretty far here. Cornerstone Festival, Chicago, 1986. Barren Cross was on our Rock for the King tour.
Came forth the day my life was taken away. I've been warned so many times, it's gonna all come true, they say. I just pick my pastor, and such a one again.
And I really remember that show. I think I even brought out a flag on stage, and
you did. I was there, bro.
Were you there? Okay.
I was there. Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. We played that year too. I remember that.
In fact, see that flying V up there in the back? See that?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. That flying V right there. I bought that in 1984.
Wow.
Yeah, and I still have it. So, and I think I played that at that show. In fact, I know I did.
You played it at Immortal Fest too, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yep.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So you really remember that show? You're saying that was one of your favorite gigs?
Yeah, I think so. That was a memorable show. I mean, I've had lots of concerts that I really enjoyed doing.
Yeah.
In particular, like touring through Pennsylvania. It's great shows that we did there. Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and some other places around there. And just different places all throughout the Midwest and back east. I'll tell you a funny show. I'll tell you a funny something in my memory. When we played in New York City, we played at a venue that had an opening act, and the band, I like to sometimes go out and watch the opening act a little bit and see what they do, and and I'm sitting here watching, and all of a sudden, the chicks in the front row, they're starting to point at the lead singer, and they're laughing, and I'm wondering, what are they laughing about? Well, he had a pair of shorts on, like some jean shorts that had some tears and rips in them.
Oh my God.
All of a sudden, his entire package came out. I'm not kidding. And
Ray's got a story kind of.
He saw this, and he saw them looking at him, and he looked down and he saw that, and man, he just jetted like a lightning bolt backstage. It was the funniest thing. I'll never forget that.
So
Ray,
Michael,
tell your story,
Michael,
bro.
I have a similar story. we were playing with Fates Warning in Chicago at a club, and that was in the day when I used to wear spandex pants, and you don't wear underpants with your spandex, right? So we're on stage and we're performing, and I put my foot up on the monitor and my leg up there, and I'm sitting there jamming, and I'm pointing at the crowd, and my cousin, who was like right in the front, he's pointing at me like that, and I'm like, He's like, no, he's doing that, right? And I turn and I look, the same thing happened. My jeans, my spandex tore and my junk was hanging out. I'm like, oh man.
I
That was
would say that's probably the most embarrassing moment I would ever have if that ever happened. It didn't ever
It
happen to me, thank God. But
it is, bro. It is. I'm just like, man, okay.
and you're happy to admit it to this day. I see. Okay.
Yeah, well, only because it was such a joke, man. It was because I didn't know. He's pointing at me. I'm thinking he's going, "Ah, you're rocking." I'm like, "Ah." He's
Oh
like,
man, that's funny.
oh
Well,
man.
Yeah, I've got so many funny memories like that on tours. It's
Oh
great.
yeah, man. The stories are great, and that's a good thing is you remember a lot of stuff. You know,
Yeah.
one of the questions I was gonna ask is, and I know with y'all's ministry, you guys have prayed with thousands of people. I'm sure, as did we. And is there anyone? I know we have a one particular that sticks out to us. Is there any one person that you got to pray with that affected you in such a way that to this day you still think about that? I'm sure that, like I said, there was thousands, but is there that one that just really stood out to you?
That prayed with me.
Yeah, that you led to the Lord and you got to just
Oh, I
witness
see.
to and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I do remember a guy on we were sitting on steps. I think it was after the show, and there was a place close to the foyer of the venue, and we
Mhm.
were just both sitting on steps together and just chatting, just talking, and talking about the Lord. And from what I remember, yeah, he gave his heart to Christ right there, and it's just it's a beautiful feeling. You know, I don't think I even knew the Lord myself back then. I
Oh
don't think
wow,
no, but you know, the Lord can use an ass if he wants to, you
that's
know,
right.
and
That's
he
right.
did in the Bible.
That's right. Yep.
And so, you know, we're kind of a work in progress until we get to that point where we totally surrender.
Mm,
Um, I don't believe in the continual work in progress, although your character is being worked on. Your character,
absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
but you get to a place where, if you truly know the Lord, you've surrendered
Mm.
everything to God, and you've given Him your heart. Basically, that doesn't mean you know you retire to be a nun in a monastery somewhere, or you go to be in a hut in Africa. That doesn't mean that. I mean, God may
Right.
call you to do that, but you know, you stay in whatever calling you are. When you find Christ, you stay in whatever job you are or whatever,
Mhm.
until the Lord tells you different. But you surrender your heart. Everything
Yeah.
that's important to you now becomes God's, and it becomes His. You know, and that is where you get complete fulfillment and joy when you totally surrender everything to God. And I repented about 19 years ago.
Mm.
I was doing a lot of the wrong thing, and
Yeah.
I totally repented and totally surrendered my life to Christ. That was 2006. Prior to that, I would say that I wasn't a Christian yet. I was on that journey,
Right.
and doing a lot of good things, but
Sure.
good things don't get you to heaven. You know,
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
obedience to Christ will. Belief in Jesus enough, that believing enough to repent, that's what will. And doing
Yep.
what He said. You know, I don't listen to men anymore that preach another Jesus, because that's what's being taught a lot in the church today. They're preaching another Jesus. They're
That's
not
right.
preaching the true Jesus Christ that told you that you have to lose your life here to
Mhm.
gain it in the world to come. You know, he in the Greek, the scripture says, if you lose your life, your will for your life here, you'll gain it in the world to come. But if you
Mhm.
hold on to what you want here in this world, you will
Mhm.
surely lose it in the world to come.
Yeah.
And
That's right.
that's Jesus Christ, and it's pretty hardcore.
That's right.
Oh,
Whether
yeah.
you like Him or not, that's what He said. And if you believe Him enough, if you believe Him, then you're going to do it. You're going to believe He's God. And the one thing you're not willing to give up, that's the proof that you don't really believe He's God. Not in your
That's
heart,
right.
not in substance.
That's right. No, that's good, man. I'm glad you said that. It's cool because like you said, he can use an ass, right? And when y'all were first started with Barren Cross, like you said, you don't believe you were totally saved. You had
Right.
given your heart to the Lord, but you were in the process. You were in that part where he says that he will change you.
Yeah.
That's the part you were leaving out, and you weren't there yet. You know, your steps are ordered
Right.
by him, but yet
Yeah.
he was able to use you. And as long as you have that continual vision and goal in your mind, as I had this conversation with somebody talking about the difference between asking for forgiveness versus actually repenting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah,
So,
big difference. Big
yeah,
difference.
dude. Yeah. So now I had that and I helped them to understand that there's a big difference between you always saying, you know, forgive me for this, forgive me for that, and then repenting and turning from it, where you're actually making the change, where you're walking in those steps
Yeah.
that he's ordered of you. You know, so that's really neat, man. I know we had thousands of people we led to the Lord as well, and I have one that really stuck out to me. With Steve Watkins, we were doing a show, and we there was these black witches and these gang members and stuff. They were literally outside of the arena where we were playing, and they were with signs, and you know, there's several hundred of them saying that we were wolves in sheep's clothing and this and that and the other. And then there was black witches there and all. Long story short, one of them after the show, a female black witch came in, and Steve started talking to her. She told Steve that that they had been outside praying that our show would fail and that we would all this and that and the other. And Steve just said, you know what, let me share with you why that didn't work and why it won't work on us. And he just started sharing the gospel with this chick. And while we're all, and it's right there in the open, you know, we're all praying and talking with people, and he ended up leading her to the Lord after about an hour and a half.
That's amazing.
And that particular girl connected with the promoter of that venue, started serving at the church. And to my knowledge, to this day, she's a youth group leader in that church.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
Those kind of stories are incredible. When you hear that stuff, it's like, it's mind blowing, man. I just love that kind of stuff.
But in the church today, you know, the church today is in major need of an overhaul, a reformation.
True.
Because a lot of people are very content to get 5 minutes of warm fuzzies from Pastor Feelgood down the street.
Come on.
And then they go back to their sins that night because they were told they're saved because they repeated a sinner's prayer, something they call a sinner's prayer, which doesn't exist anywhere in the Bible. Jesus never told anybody to repeat words after him. He told them what to do and expected them to do it. They had to go home and live it. Now that was Jesus Christ, whether people like Jesus or not. That's who he was. And so it's a totally different gospel that's being preached in many churches today. I mean, you know, even something as harmless as ask Jesus into your heart. Did Jesus ever say that? He never said that. Ask me into your heart.
Right.
Now, I mean, I get it. And it's not like I'm saying there's anything wrong with that phrase, but there's so much more to it. It's all about doing what Jesus said, and you'll get the fulfillment from that when you do that. When you do what he said, you know. Yeah.
No, that's good. That's good.
And you believe him by faith too. You believe in what he did. He shed blood on the cross. You believe that cleanses you from all sin, and it does if you repent.
And that's
Works will get you nowhere.
That's what saves you. Yep.
Mike,
what kind of creamer you got in that coffee, Ray?
It's actually, I put this sweetener. It's called
3 hours later.
I forgot what it's called, but it's like for when you're on a diet. Something syrup. I forgot what it's called. Skinny syrup. And then I use heavy whipping cream.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, dude.
Are you really heavy whipping cream?
Yeah. Yeah, you should try it sometime.
You ever tried the cold foam? That stuff is actually pretty good.
I have, and I'm just like,
I like a black tea with half and half and honey in it.
Ooh.
You drink tea and crumpets, do you?
Yes, I do.
That's beautiful. Man. But so do you, Michael, I've never, as long as I've known you, have I known anything about you having a girlfriend or a wife? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you married? You've been married? Anything like that?
I'm single, actually. And
really?
Kind of until God tells me different. I'm single. And you know,
no kids?
I leave that up to the Lord. No, I've had 3 dogs and 2 cats. But no, I don't have any kids actually.
Wow. How old are you, Michael?
Oh, how old am I? I'm about to turn 61 in May.
No, are you really,
Yeah.
Grandpa?
Great thing about dating a woman my own age, I don't worry about meeting her parents.
Yep.
61. Yeah, I think we're all right around the same age. I'm 62.
Well,
right.
you guys got 10 years on me. I'm 51.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say Dave's 12.
Yeah. I haven't hit puberty yet.
So
Oh, man.
you just learned how to walk not too long ago.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool.
Hey, so let's talk about something we were talking about earlier. Is
Yeah.
When I was telling a lot of people that I was going to have you on the show, they're like, "Ask him why he changed his name." And you and I had that conversation like a year ago, but I'd rather you share it from your mouth, so people really see why you changed your name.
Yeah. Okay. So it is legally now Michael Drive, and Michael has always been my name. When I was born, I was born to French-speaking parents. My mother was from France, born in Gennevilliers, next to Paris, and my father was born in Brussels, Belgium, and they both met on the beach in Venice, California. And my name, my original name was Michel, which is Michael in French. It's
Right.
spelled Michel, right?
Mhm.
And I actually, needless to say, I got picked on by a lot of kids here in America because
Yeah.
whenever the teacher would try to call my name, he wouldn't pronounce it correctly. He wouldn't say Michel, he would say Michelle, and that's a
Oh,
girl's
yeah.
name, right? So you see where
Right.
that's going. So anyway, as far as
I
Lee,
got your Michelle right here.
that's right. Anyway,
He shall kick your butt.
yeah, right. So my mother, when she remarried a man whose last name was Lee, and they adopted me into that name. And so later on, I just felt that it was not my identity, and I just felt like it wasn't me somehow. And so people were calling me Drive, because I had a lot of drive and everything, and Michael Drive just seemed like it fit me a lot more. And so eventually, I've been called that for years. Eventually, I made it legal, and there you have
That's
it.
great.
That's the story.
Nice.
That is
Right on.
great. That is great. Yeah, that's cool because you get some movie stars and actors and stuff. They change their names to something completely different. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
and yeah, you just change a little part of it. So no, that's cool, man. That's really
So
cool.
how did you get into singing? Like who were influences for you? What got you to decide, hey man, I want to sing? I want to be
Me, it was me.
It was Rey
No.
Parra. I
Yeah.
want to be like Ray when I grow up.
I got so into music as a kid. I was listening to a lot of like what the radio was playing in the 70s growing up. And I just really got into Motown, actually. That's one of the styles of music I really like, is that Motown of the 70s. And then I started getting into like bands like Journey and Kansas, as I said. I really, as a kid, was
Boston?
really into the progressive rock. What's that?
You like Boston?
Yeah, all of those kind of bands. Yeah, totally. And but mainly the progressive rock stuff. I really and that was opposite of what anybody else in school was listening to. Being that I was picked on so bad as a kid, I decided to rebel. And I think that's part of what led me to liking what I liked. So while the other kids were wearing pink Le Tigre shirts with topsiders and khaki pants and things like that, and being into bands like Duran Duran or all that new wave junk.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
the preppies. We call them the preppies back then.
Yeah, I completely rebelled against that whole thing, and I decided to do what was not popular at all at that time, and that is go back to the early 70s and wear some bell-bottom jeans and tie-dye shirts. And I mean, that was out. That was big time out. But I just did it out of rebellion.
Oh,
and I went to school like that. And I even dressed like that. I remember when I played my first talent show, and I went up there with a guitar and started singing a song in front of like 1,600 kids, because I went to a pretty big high school.
Oh wow.
In Los Angeles. But anyway, So I was rebelling against all that, and also that's probably why I got into the progressive rock bands that probably older kids were more into. But I just really got into that, and all the progressive beats that made me the writer that I kind of was with Barren Cross. You know, that's when I started writing all those off time. They weren't 4/4 signatures. They were off time beats and things like that. You hear them throughout songs like 2,000 Years. Imaginary Music has some of that in the bridge. Let's see, Living Dead.
Yep.
The songs that I wrote has those kind of weird time signatures, and so
Yeah. At what age did you start playing the guitar?
16.
Oh, okay. So you're a late starter.
Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, so to speak. Yeah. And then what about singing?
It came so fast. The singing part came at the same time, and I literally wrote my first song within 3 months after picking up the guitar.
Wow.
And I wrote that song, and in fact, that one song that I wrote, ended up being on the Barren Cross Birth Pangs double live album.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Which one was that?
It's called Return of the Light.
And the meek shall inherit the earth. For the Alpha and Omega will return. He will appear through the clouds with a shout of might.
And so that was my very first song. And my second song, get this, my second song appeared on the Rock for the King album, and that was Light the Flame.
Wow. That's great, man.
I still need to get that one, man. I have everything else on vinyl and CD, but I don't have Rock for the King.
Yeah, okay.
So, Dave, what are you waiting for? Let's go.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. And so once you grabbed that guitar and you started playing, you're like, I'm in, man. I got this, no problem.
Yeah.
Were you learning cover tunes, or you started writing right away?
Right away. The moment I could start to form chords, then I started. It just came naturally. I was showed how to do that by a guy named Michael Key. He showed me my first 3 or 4 chords, and then after that, I just formulated my own chords. I didn't really learn what they were. In fact, a lot of the chords that I play, I don't even know what they are, except some of the basic ones. But I just kind of learned on my own how to play, and the singing came naturally, and the writing came naturally, and it was, it's all a gift from the Lord. I can't take credit. You guys, you can do something that I can't, and that's the thing about everyone. God gives everyone gifts, and it's up to us to find out what they are and nurture them and use them.
No, that's really cool, man. For me, I started out with accordion, and then violin, and then bass guitar, and then rhythm guitar, and then singing. And I like the singing the best. Yeah,
I can't imagine you doing accordion, bro.
Nerd alert!
Actually, I don't mind the accordion. I'll tell you one instrument I can't stand that I just really hate with a passion, and that's the banjo. I mean, it's like nails on a chalkboard to me. I hate it.
Dave, we don't have that clip anywhere, do we? That you could play with the banjo.
We used to have that. Yeah, from the movie.
I will never have a banjo in my music anywhere.
Oh man. Oh no.
There's only one song I could think of off the top of my head where the banjo in the beginning of it actually works. At least for me, it does, and that's Warrant, Uncle Tom's Cabin.
Oh yeah.
Okay, as you say, you're entitled to that.
Yeah, right, man. Forget about that, man.
By the way, speaking of instruments, I did something that I just always wanted to do. It was kind of a little bit of a dream of mine. I played a concert that was in Paris with my band that I had formed while I was living there. The band at the time was called Fast Drive. And anyway, it was in a place called La Locomotive. That means the locomotive, and it was hard on the wall of the Moulin Rouge. Yeah, it was right next door. And anyway, it's a pretty big venue, and we did a nice concert there, my band. And what I decided to do, I really wanted to do this. I went down the street earlier that day where there were a lot of music stores, and I decided to buy a guitar which I only for the purpose of smashing it to tiny bits on stage. And so I bought the guitar, and it was a relatively good, I didn't buy a too expensive of a guitar, of course.
Yeah,
But
of course.
it was still a decent guitar. It tuned up nicely. And I actually played a song with it during the show. And then I proceeded to smash it into tiny bits. And it was the funnest thing I ever did.
Love it.
Nice.
Love it.
Pieces
Love
going
it.
everywhere all across the hall.
And the crowd was eating it up, man. It was like a big old circus.
Welcome to the circus.
That's right.
Oh, man.
Somewhere out there to this day, somebody probably still has a piece of that.
Well,
Oh,
I heard that it did hit one person in the face, but
Oh,
I didn't get in any trouble. I'm glad they weren't too bad, though, from what I understand.
that just reminded me of something that's got nothing to do with a guitar. We just played in Germany last year, and that was Larry Worley from Fear Not. He had just joined Sacred Warrior.
Yeah.
And he had this hat that he always wore with the skulls on it. Really killer hat.
Oh yeah.
And we're up on stage and we're playing, and them German people too, they love their metal, man. And it was like an airplane hangar, and it was packed wall to wall up in the bleachers. And we're playing, and he takes his hat and he throws it in the crowd. And when he throws it, it was like the Red Sea. It opened up, and the hat hit the ground. Nobody grabbed it. To this day, we don't know what happened to it. We're thinking he's going to throw it out. People are going to fight over it. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? That somebody grabbed it for sure, but it was just too funny, man.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
You
some of
lose your hat and I give it back to you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, one time in Texas, I think it was me and Ray that the crowd was really rowdy. It was South Texas. We played right there close to the Mexican border, but in Texas. And the crowd was really rowdy. So Ray pushed Jim out into the crowd. I think maybe I did as well. And I mean, they were on him like piranhas, and they were ripping off his shirt and his chains and his belt and all this stuff. And we finally, from what I remember, we brought him back up on stage, and he only had his pants on left. I think he would have been naked probably if we left him there. From what I remember, it was really funny.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
Oh man, I gotta bust his nuts on that one.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh man, that's great, man. Well, Mike, listen, is there anything for people who are listening, anything we didn't ask you about, or something you just want to announce? Anything to the audience? New music coming out, news, just some breaking news, anything like that?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to be coming out with some new videos with my band Human Code. If anybody wants to find out about Human Code, you can go on either the Human Code website or my website. Human Code's website is humancodemusic.com. humancodemusic.com, and my website is simply michaeldrive.com. So I got plenty of information about Human Code and got our videos on there, and yeah, it's a great band. The album's called Break the Silence. It's available, and you guys can listen to it. And it's we're going to be continuing filming some more videos. As I said, the Rain video was just filmed. Actually, George still has to do his part, but we've all done our parts, and it's going to be cool. I did mine on the bridge that overlooked downtown Nashville and the skyscrapers that are there really at night. Really beautiful. All the lights and everything. That's kind of like the backdrop in a way in the footage that I took for the video. So that's really going to be cool. And the Socially Incorrect video, definitely, that's going to be coming out. And again, a reminder, everyone.
Yeah, buddy.
Make up a sign like that and film yourself with this.
Dave and I will do it. We'll do it.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta say, Michael,
when do you need those by?
As soon as possible. But just don't worry. Just get it done, and we'll incorporate you guys into our video. So
cool.
Sweet.
I was gonna say, the way you sang the Rain song.
Oh yeah.
Mad respect, Michael. I gotta tell you that, bro.
Thank you.
Love it. That song, just love it. I love that song. I told George, I said, dude, I should have sang that song.
Well, I appreciate that, Ray. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. No, I love it, man. But Michael, it was great having you on the show, man. And just keep us up to date on any new stuff coming up. We'll have you on here again and all that. And then
My pleasure.
Just have fun like we do. Stick around for a second here, Michael. I'm going to end this out, and everybody watching, remember, support Michael, Human Code, Barren Cross, all the stuff they have, man. Show them some love, buy the merch when it comes out, and thanks for all the support that you give Dave and I here on Is It Wrong.
Like,
And
share, and
remember to
subscribe.
like, share, and subscribe, and get our merch. And until the next time, we'll see you guys. Actually, well, I'm not going to say who it's going to be because it's going to be out of order. But anyways, we will see you all later. God bless.
Thank you.